Okay, do the thing. Wow, that was disappeared in a hurry. Oh. Made it nice so you don't have to deal with fractions at least.
your range?
Is it a happy parabola or a sad parabola? Will it open up or down? Is the A positive or negative? Okay. If it does this, then your y's go from here to infinity. If it does this, your y's go from here to negative infinity. I got no more than that. Give you a minute to finish her up. Looks like most folks are there or last stages. Alrighty. My axis symmetry is always going to be x is negative b over 2a. Whenever I find that, I will then find the value of it so I can find the other part of my vertex. So, what is b and what is a?
6 and negative 1.
Okay. So, negative 6 over negative 2 is positive 3. Go find the function value of 3. Get negative 9 plus 18 is positive 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. That means I will have an axis of symmetry of x equals 3. I'll have a vertex of 3, 13. And just by looking at it, before I even graph, does it open up or open down? Down. Sad parabola. Which means this vertex is going to be a maximum or a minimum. Right? If it opens downward, this is a maximum. If that's the maximum, then I can actually cheat and already say that my range is going to be from negative infinity all the way up to 13. Or if you prefer, you could have said y is less than or equal to 13. Okay, either of those is cool. That's before I even graph it. But once I graph it, I have a vertex at 313. Y'all okay with me just going a little off-road? So here's 10, 11, 12, 13. From there, perfect square steps. There's no stretch or compression. Again, being nice. Just head down. So over 1, down 1. Over 2, down 4. Wait, no, 9, not 8. There you go. Over 3, down 9. Over 4, down 16. Over 5, down 25, and now we're off road. Mirror them across your axis of symmetry. Try to keep it curvy. There she be. Alternatively, if you did not like that and you wanted it to go by twos, if I go by twos, it's going to be 3, 13, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. And then you would just have to remember by 1, by 4, and by so on. You just got to be careful with your graphs. So what's that? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. You would have had the same thing, just compressed instead, if you had gone by twos. Okay. So, either one of those is cool. All right. We have... Did you get correct axis of symmetry? Did you get the correct vertex? Either one, correct range. Did you graph downward with the correct perfect square points actually marked? Like you have the points on there, not just here's my vertex, wing it. But you actually have the points. Okay? Now, y'all know how this works. If all the way back here you just plain forgot to put that negative there, ruh-roh. Now you got a -3 here. Now you got a -9, minus 18, plus 4. Now you're way down there at -23. It changes things. But would you still have a negative parabola starting at -3, -23? Would you still have your range going from -infinity to -23? Like, did you still do all the stuff just at the wrong spot because you missed a negative? That's one off. But more than this one thing, this one spot, everything else is perfect. Okay, now you're looking at a 3 out of 5. It was absolute garbage, and you have an absolute value up there. All right, now we're looking at like a 2. I at least attempted the problem, and it kind of looks like there's math. That's a 1. Okay. Y'all doing okay with these so far? Like, middle of the road, sea level, this is something I saw on my homework kind of problems. Should be just another example of what we did. Gut check time. Like, this is what we did yesterday. I get what we did yesterday. That's what it's supposed to be. Okay. Again, life came and hit me hard this first midterm here with everyone getting sick and just fighting with friggin' Frank. I lost 5 different prep hours just fighting with my computer and my smartboard. That's 5, 7, 7.5, 8 hours of in class or at school work that I could have been grading your stuff. That's just my prep hour. So I don't have your stuff in campus, but you know how you're doing, right? Like you got an idea of how you're doing in the class. If every day you're getting 4 or 5 out of 5 on these, you're probably doing good. You're probably sitting at a B or better. If you're seeing 3 out of 5 once or twice a week, you're probably down around a C-ish. If you're at 3 out of 5 on a regular basis, maybe had a couple that went lower, probably a D. Like it's a gradient like that. Okay? And that's what you really got, not what you said you got. Because people who aren't doing so hot have a tendency to falsify that. But just want to make sure, like, yeah, I don't have it in the grade book, and I apologize, that's on me. But you should know how you're doing, because you know on the daily quizzes, that's your gut check every day. If I don't understand this, I should be asking questions. The homework. Now that we know you can do things on a calculator and you can find your vertex a different way, was it okay? No? It was not okay? No Bino? All right. Talk to me, Goose. Oh, can you do it manually? All right. That's the important part. The calculator is just a tool. Okay. No. The calculator is just a tool. No. If you can find the vertex by doing negative b over 2a, plug it in, you're good. Is the calculator a great tool to help you do that faster if it doesn't say show work? Yeah. If I'm doing an ACT and I just don't want to think right now because it's a speed run? Yeah. But you do not have to use the calculator. It just makes things go a little faster. You don't have to wash your dishes by hand. If you got a dishwasher, use it. Okay. The entirety of my upbringing, we had a dishwasher that didn't work. It just sat there. It's where you put the extra dirty dishes when this counter was full. It was sad. Okay, from the homework. Speak now or forever hold your pieces. Even though our quiz today has 5 problems instead of 6 because they're a little bit meatier, I did the time run on it, and it's going to be a little bit longer than the other ones. So I want to make sure that we have as much time as possible in class to do that. Okay, let's get to it. All right, then, you know the drill. All the devices go over there. Don't spread them all over my counter, because while you're doing the quiz, I'm going to be over here getting through notebooks. Try to cluster them down at that area. Phones, smartwatches, spy cameras, pen bombs, whatever it is. Okay, send it all over there. Which way the parabola goes? If the A in front is positive, it's going to open upward. So it'll have a minimum, because that's the lowest point. If it opens downward, it has a top of the hill, maximum. Does it have a top or a bottom of the hill? There you go. Okay, we got all the stuff over there. Cool. Before I go handing this out then, since you're going to go straight into the quiz from the review, Let's mix it up. Now, I want you sitting next to whoever you're normally sitting next to. Scrambled eggs. Get up, move around. Well, if you're going to make that face, then just make Bailey move. Okay, just mix it up. There's an entire other table over there. There's an entire other table in the back. Mix it around. Spread yourselves out if there's more room at the table. Okay. All right. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3. Womp. 1 potato, 2 potato, done. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3. 1 potato, 2 potato. Olay. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3. 1 potato, 2 potato. Done. Everyone got it? Okay. Then, bam. You notice, again, there's 5 problems instead. It's a little bit different because there's 2 things on there that involve 3 variable systems and they take a while. So I needed to cut the time down. Even then, it was like 30, 40 seconds over where I wanted it to be. So, zoom. Starting with 3 variable systems. We spent a lot of time on them, so I hope we're okay with them by now. If I have a 3 variable system, the goal is to do what? Turn it into a 2 variable. Eliminate a variable 2 different ways. Now, some of us were all about that substitution life. In that case, I would probably take something nice and easy like this equation, where all the coefficients are 1 and -1. And maybe I would just add z, subtract 2, say z is -x plus y minus 2, jam that in for the z's, and run with it. Okay? I will always pick the smaller coefficients if I'm substituting, because then I have less big numbers to have to distribute through. I'm going to have smaller coefficients when I do get down to an equation with just x and y. Okay? If that was your jam. Most of us were about that elimination life, where we would instead say, what's an equation up there that looks real easy to get rid of 2 ways? Or sorry, a variable. Y's? I will agree with that. Yep, I like that. Because I can just use equation 1 and equation 3. Poof, gone. 3x minus 2y plus z is 1. 5x plus 2y plus 10z is 39. Womp. And when I combine those, we get 8x plus 11, z is 40. I got to do it another way. What's your choice? 2 times the second one. So I'm going to say equation 1. Still 3x minus 2y plus z is 1. But I'll say 2 times equation 2. When I write 2 by equation 2 in circle, I know what happened. You really want to have that form of, you want to have some sort of notation or organization to it, because I think I said this in class, just a couple weeks ago, we reviewed this in our opening unit with pre-calc, and I had a kid in tears because they get to the end of a 3-variable system and it's obviously wrong, getting like 113 over 37 kind of stuff. I said, just trust the process. Just go for it. Just do what you know you're supposed to, even if you know it's wrong. I look back at the whole problem, missed a negative right here. 4 out of 5. You good? Like, that's it. Just trust the process. Okay? If you write this, I can follow the work and I can give you credit for that process. So 2 by this, negative 2x. 2 by this, plus 2y. 2 by this, negative 2z. 2 by this, faux. Maybe a note on this, a really common error that I see is kids will multiply this and this and this by 2. Forget that one. It's always the constant. Okay? Maybe just a note to yourself. Did you multiply the constant on the other side as well? Or something, okay? Because that's a really common one. Luckily, though, this is just x minus z. Nice and easy. And if I have just x minus z, it's really easy to solve this 2-variable system. How many of you were multiplying on the fly when you write this? Or were you writing the 2-variable system, then multiplying and writing it? Like, I don't know. Are you okay if I just, along the way, say times 11?
Yeah. Could you divide that side by 8? 11.
I could, but I'll have a fraction.
Right.
Now, if, all right. A little cleaner? Yeah. If this had been, I was originally thinking 12z for some reason, then I would definitely divide that line by 4 because you want smaller numbers. If I have 8x plus 11z is 40, multiply this by 11, 11x minus 11z is 55. You're like, oh no, this is so gross. Look at these disgusting numbers. How will I ever deal with 19x and 95? Oh, okay. It actually works out all right. And once I know that x is 5, I'm actually going to come over here and say 5 minus z is 5. Cancel, cancel. I just get z is 0. Yeah! I got letters and numbers. Now what? Go all the way back and find out what, when we eliminate, y. So I'll even write that I'm using equation 2 just so I know where this came from. Negative x plus y minus z is 2. Plug in there. 5 and 0. Getting negative 5 plus y is 2, so y is 7. Finish it off. Write your 3D coordinate. Okay. Any questions on it? Okay. I'm actually going to scroll straight down. Who here's a literary buff? We call this alliteration. And this is what happens when Sullivan can't find a word problem that he likes in the books. Billy Bob's Burger Barn sells burger baskets for $12, Belly Busters for $20, beef buckets for $48. If Bubba Bourne bought 17 items for $352 to feed his bus full of bumbling bozos and bought 3 times as many burger baskets as he did beef buckets, how many of each items did Bubba Bourne buy? I'm gonna go crazy. All right. The idea is, look at the question at the end. It tells you the variables. How many of each item did he buy? So maybe off to the side I should write X, Y, and Z are going to be my items. What are my items? Okay. Burgers, busters, and buckets. Y'all remember Mrs. Bowerly from elementary school? I got a group chat with her and her husband, Aaron. They're good friends of mine, and I'd sent this to them last night and said, kids are just going to hate me. Aaron's response is, how many of each item did Bubba Bourne buy? A cow. He just bought a cow. But, yeah. Those are the 3 things I bought. Next up, totals. Do I see any totals in there? I see 352, yep. Now that's $352. So, if there's doll hairs over there, we should probably put more doll hairs with it, right? All of the rates. So we're going to have 12x plus 20y plus 48z. What else? Because there's 17 total items, I know this many burger baskets plus this many belly busters plus this many beef buckets is 17 total items. There's not enough information to solve it right now, though, until we catch that line. Bought 3 times as many burger baskets as beef buckets. So the burger baskets is 3 times as many as the beef buckets. Set it up just like the ones we did in the book, where the 3 variable systems aren't even 3 variable systems. Just replace. Okay? If I say that x is this stuff, then I'm going to replace x with this stuff. I'm going to jam a 3z in here, making that 36z plus 20y plus 48z is 352. I'm going to jam it in there, saying 3z plus y plus z is 17. And then combine like terms. We say 20 y's and 36 and 48, 70, 80, 92? Question mark? 82. 84. Y'all, I was up at 4 a.m. And y plus 4z is 17. What do you want to get rid of? The y? Whole thing by 20? Or negative 20, I should say. So if I have, move over. 20y plus 84z is 352. Negative 20y minus 80z is a negative 340. Is it 340? Okay. So 4z is 12. Z is 3. Come all the way back here, jam in 3. Get y plus 12 is 17, y is 5. And there's a nice part. Come back here and say x is just 3 by 3. Make sure that you answer the question at the end. Bubba Born bought 9 burger baskets, 5 belly busters, and 3 beef buckets. Moral of the story, you're going to have a 3-variable system in which one of the lines will be a substitution, okay? Make it a little bit easier. All right, then we moved on to quadratics. We started with vertex form. And we seemed to like that. It was pretty straightforward. Where's my vertex at?
3, -1.
3, -1. Okay. If I have a vertex at 3, -1, that means I must have had a horizontal translation, right 3. I must have had a vertical translation, down 1. What's this guy do? How do I know it's compress and not stretch? Less than 1. So we'll have a vertical compression by 1/2. Identify the parent function and the transformations made. Oh, so I should probably say that the parent function is what? Who is your mathematical daddy? What's the simplest that a quadratic can get?
X squared.
Just x squared. The parent function. What, you all in here like, well, hold on. Last year I was in geometry, so Keeler? No. Okay. From there, or wait, no, he didn't have geometry last year, did he? He just had all business math, I think. Yeah. So from here, I need to use my perfect square steps. But what happened to those perfect square steps? Half. So instead of over 1 up 1, it's over 1 up half. Instead of over 2 up 4, over 2 up 2. Instead of over 3 up 9, half of that. Over 4 up, not 16, 8. Over 5 up, 25 halves, which is going to be like meh. So we're already off-road. Mirror them across your axis of symmetry. Connect the dots, try to keep it curvy. And there should be. When I look at these, I'm looking at, did you state it, did you state it, did you state it, did you state it? Do you have the points for the correct graph? Not just I winged it. Not just I have 3 points on there. When we say a minimum is, for a parabola, 5. Because then you can see the curvature of it. All right. Then we did number 4. We also did this backwards. said if I have a point right here on the graph, this is just the vertex, okay? I'm just making sure you know exactly where it is. Then I need to fill in f of x is a x minus h squared plus k. In fact, that'd be a really good hint. I should probably write that on my paper so I know what my form is. Right? You're just filling in the blanks for your vertex form. So I see that this particular parabola, instead of starting at 0, 0, we're back 2 and down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if this is at -2, -6, who goes where? Okay. I have a -2 for an h and a -6 for a k. We'll clean it up later. Okay. How do I determine my a? Well, is it positive or negative? Okay. It's opening upward, so I know it's positive. But how do I determine what the a value is? What it did over what it should have done. The percentage of its normal movement. So this goes left 2 and up, oh boy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So if I went left 2 and up 12, normally when I go left 2, how far do I head up? 4. I went up 12. So 12 out of 4 is 3. Make sure you write the final form. F of x is 3 times the quantity x plus 2 squared minus 6. Okay? And one last problem. Okay? Yeah, there was some hesitation there. Cool. Okay. Graph the equation, identify the vertex axis, of symmetry. Not axis or symmetry, axis of symmetry. Domain and range. To find my axis of symmetry, we just did this for a daily quiz. -b over 2a. To find the rest of the vertex, I'll find the function of that value. And we say b is -12, a is 2. Getting positive 12 over 4 is just 3. So find the function of 3. Getting 3 squared is 9. 9 by 2 is 18. 12 and 3 is minus 36 plus 17. 18 minus 36 is -18. -18 plus 17 is -1. So it actually ain't too bad. So we're going to head over here to 3, -1. And I'm going to label my axis of symmetry was x equals 3. I'm going to state that my vertex is at 3, -1. And then I'll use some perfect square steps to finish it off. Does it open up or down? Positive 2 in the A spot. So it opens up. And what will I do to my perfect square steps because of that 2? Everything by 2. So we're going to go right 1 up, not 1, 2. We're going to go right to, not 4, 8. We're going to go right 3 up, not 9. Oof. It's like way off road. But that's okay because I still have 5 points on my graph. Cool. Done, right? What are you doing, Chad? We ain't done. Answer the questions. Always answer the questions. Don't get dumb points off because you didn't read the instructions. I have my axis symmetry. I have my vertex. I have my graph, but domain and range, poor favor. Domain is all real numbers because it's a parabola, and the equation itself doesn't have x on the denominator, doesn't have an even radical in it. Option 2, the range. You got to choose how you're going to do this. You can use interval notation to say -1 to infinity, or you can say y is greater than or equal to -1. I will take both of those. Don't get dumb points off because you just didn't do the thing. Okay? Always go back and read your instructions. You have 40 minutes for 5 problems. When you are done, because some people are incapable of following instructions, I'm going to say it again. I need the counter space because I'm going to be doing all these books. I would like you to put your quiz in the basket right there, and your notes, daily quizzes, and notebooks that have your assignments or folders or whatever you do in a pile next to it. Remember, I didn't get yours last time, so I definitely need it this time because that's 2 weeks worth of stuff. You do not need it unless you have that, unless you use the same notebook or folder or whatever for multiple classes. You will not need it again until Monday because I am leaving in another 45 minutes. Okay, I got to go do a thing. I got an appointment at 2. Okay, so put your stuff over there. I will go through it as soon as I am able to, probably tomorrow. Unless you need that notebook for another class, in that case, just tell me and I'll do yours first. Okay? Get them!